really pleased to be here. It's not like I wanted to be the pub. Are we supposed to be in the pub for the whole of the afternoon? We're not here. So there we are.
This is free, Adam. This is free, okay?
This is free, it is, yeah. The best things in life. So I wanted to go back to the beginning with Josie and things, because for those that don't know, that me and Josie used to work together before, and I wanted to kind of imagine when I first kind of met her, because I sort of took a short contract. It was like a 3-month contract, and when I arrived there, they were sort of full of this, because Josie was on holiday for a couple of weeks. She went to Greece, so everyone was telling me about this wonderful person who's coming in, and I must admit that I was kind of thinking, well, who is she? You know, this mythical figure, this like Josie figure. How are we going to get on? I'm supposed to be managing her. She's not here. They speak great things. So I just remember the time when she walked in, and you know, it was just fantastic. She was so great, and I think by lunchtime I sort of made a mental note to myself, I really, really want to work with her again wherever I go next. The thing that I didn't realise was I was going to go to the partnership. So there was like 2 challenges. Like firstly I've got to get her into the partnership. But I spoke to Lisa Kimberley and I said, it was an amazing sort of candidate, and I think she's brilliant. She's really successful. And Lisa said to me, she said she met her. They had a little sort of interview and separately one-on-one. And Lisa said to me, "This is exactly the person we want to come into partnership." So I thought, well, that's great. But the next thing is I've got to persuade Josie. So I said to Josie, who knew someone, but Charlotte, I don't know if anyone knows, but Charlotte, and I said, Charlotte, blah, 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 partnership, Josie, get her in, blah, blah, blah. So they went to Bar 171 one evening. So I emailed her, I said, what do you think of Bar 171? And Josie said, it was like the night of the living dead. Yeah, and ironically, given how much time you spent there since, So, given those like couple of months when I worked with Josie and stuff, we didn't achieve very, very much. But I did insist. But I did insist. Like there was a life skill which I thought would be really, really important for her to learn. I was quite surprised. She was a web editor. She didn't know how to do this, and I said, look, you really need to learn Photoshop. And as we've seen, I've got some examples here. Some of the things. Because I went into a personal folder today. And I thought she did a lot of work. And there were literally hundreds and hundreds of these things here. And most of them I've never seen before in my life, and I didn't know I really wanted to. We have like Richard Kent, who sat there on Father Christmas's.
That's real.
There's no explanation for this. We have Ben. Ben is masquerading as a private detective. I know we're in insurance, and it's kind of related vaguely with me, but I don't know how I We've got this house starring on the Mary Claire. We've got Tom in a dress, cross-dressing all around. Alex, where's Alex? Is Alex here? Like, what? Why are you doing that? Why are you holding it?
He was on the fish counter helping us.
And I think we have to remember absent friends. And then we have Mr. Strowski. Your country needs you. And Joseph, I've got to see you.
Oh no!
As I say, I think that that one decision when I said to Josie, you really must learn Photoshop. I think that probably kept you at Greenbee for an extra year. I think we would have lost you. And I think this whole sort of creative flair thing, which Josie's kind of like infamous for and stuff, and rightly so. But when she did arrive here, and it's kind of like, I had a fear. It's like, well, how is she going to apply that to financial services? It's like, how's that going to work? And I kind of knew it would. And within a couple of days of being here, she kind of sort of said these immortal words when she said, "I'm going to make Accelerator my bitch." back to Absolute Friends, like Steve Never, when I was doing this website redesign, and I used to have like 10 minutes per month with this guy, you know. It was like this, you know, John would be more open, it was like Stephen was never there for me. So it would have been quite handy if he had been. On one occasion, he appeared at my desk, and he said to me, and he looked at me, he could be quite serious, and he said, "Has Josie ever written insurance before?" I thought, no, of course he hasn't. But I want to say, because what happened next was, because I hadn't really paid any attention to this major kind of project launch, which was car insurance, and hadn't really, it passed me by. So I sort of threw Josie in there, and it was just amazing, because within a matter of weeks, it's like Josie was completely into the nuances of car insurance, to the point whereby, after a month, they were travelling somewhere up the M1 with her boyfriend and a couple of people was four in the car, and they suddenly turned around to her and said, "Why have you been talking about car insurance for the last half an hour?" So they were fantastic times, and you know, I do want to remind ourselves that Josie has kind of rewritten the whole of Greenbee.com in the last couple of years, and you know, she's done a brilliant job there. And even the sticky content, the digital agency we've used, and they actually use Greenbee.com as a case study to show some really well-written insurance web copy, which I think is fantastic. And also something that made me sort of smile recently. It came out of in the research in the recent research, and it said one of the bullet points that Nick and Nandita went through. Me said what we need is some really well-written help text, and you know, I couldn't help but like have a little rise hug. I thought, you know, we've actually got some of the best, and this is a testament to Ali as well. We've got some of the best help text out there in our industry and stuff, and it's like something we've paid a lot of attention to. So I think that's a big plus. I think we're talking about the accelerator and stuff. We have endured the worst kind of web publishing system outgoing in Christendom for like the last few years, and you know, this sort of thing comes at a price. There was a particularly tricky release, and there've been loads of stuff going on. Josie had to apply herself to like HTML and all this kind of stuff. And then one morning she arrived in work and stuff, and she went and she stood there, and I know she regrets it now. She stood there and she went, "Oh my God, I've been dreaming about James Baldry all night." But I think that it has been a tremendously couple of years. I think the great thing about web in particular is we work with all of Greenbee, and we work with product, and we work with ops, and we work with marketing and stuff, and we get a lot of contact with lots of great people and stuff, and I think we've done loads of great projects and loads of really interesting work. And now I'm going to get your CV out and stuff, because I do think it's probably stood as sort of Josie all in good stead. So if you ask me to like go for the CV, it's not bad. It's just no, I think we can relate to this. I would be a great addition to any team and guaranteed to bring zest and vitality to any group I work within, which is rather nice. The only problem is with CV, there's no mention of the word insurance. And I like this as well, because I think, you know, it might will embarrass you. As well as having written a novel, I've collaboratively created a feature film and 4 sitcom scripts, which are currently being touted by Patrick Kelty's production company. I love going to the cinema, swimming, and cycling all over London on my excellent folding bicycle. Right. Yeah, I try to think of things which haven't really come off for Josie in the last few years. And it was tricky. It was tricky. But the thing I was trying to think back and stuff, particularly when we were around the other side of the office, and it was like me and Caroline and Josie, we'd sit there and we'd like to present this kind of creative front to Greenbee and things, and we used to go to these meetings every week in 1.6. It was all like results, it was all about performance and numbers and all this sort of stuff. And we're like, oh, it's got to be more fun than that and stuff. So we started putting in every week. Rick Jones, bless, would stand there and he'd do like this big kind of presentation, and he'd do a web kind of update. And every week, me and Josie and Caroline would sit there and we'd slip in these like ridiculous little things like photographs and stuff, like big images. little captions and stuff, and it would be a mild ripple of kind of amusement. Or we'd say, oh, we come up with like, oh, this week the web team have been thinking about putting a sort of like a an atrium. Yeah, we're going to turn it into like a. Yeah, we're going to have an atrium in this building here. We're going to put like a beach and turn it into sort of like a little park, a little theme park sort of thing. We put all this in, and gradually, sort of no one was laughing anymore. And I just there came a point when we sort of admitted defeat, and I took Josie aside. I said, "Look, have we noticed that even the great creator himself, Rick Jones, is no longer putting those into his presentations? They're gone." But it's a great sense of fun, and I think that's what we are going to miss, because we love your cards, we love your quizzes, we love your. And by the way, I just wanted to say on a personal note that it's sort of Josie's upbeat nature, which is really a godsend to me, because I like to be quite grumpy, and that's where I like to be. I'm quite demanding. I like to ask. I like to fend for herself and stuff like that. I don't want to know much about her troubles either and stuff. And she's made, she's done outstanding, and she's made like the last couple of years for me particularly easy, which is why I'm so nervous about being a successor. And I also think that she's a great wit, and we've all felt that and stuff. And she's very, very funny, or relentless so, annoyingly so. But I just wanted to say one of my favourite lines, which I will sort of carry with me and stuff. And it's very self-deprecating, as you'll see. For anyone who wasn't at Laura's leaving do, I had been Rick Jones that afternoon in Soho House and things, and I turned up quite drunk, and I had to make a bit of an impression for Laura. And so I did a belly dance in the restaurant, and I thought I got away with it. I mean, I knew it was. I know. Where's Kevin? I know. It was pretty. Yeah, it was. It was a tricky few moments, but I thought, maybe I'll ride this out. Maybe it was forgotten about in the morning. So I arrived the following day, and I was like peals of laughter. It was like coursing through the floor. And I was just like, oh my god. And Raki had a video of this. Thought, crikey. So I said, Josie came back and she was looking a bit odd, and I said, Josie, should I watch this video? And she said, no. And I said, well look, I said, well, how did it make you feel? And Josie said, like just like that, she said, a little bit of sick came into my mouth. So all I want to really say is two things and stuff. I said, one, we're really going to miss you. I want to thank you for everything you've done and stuff, professionally and socially, great stuff. And the last thing is say, if I ever make it out financial services, then I do reserve the right to give you a phone call and get in touch.